Hi FAR fam. All right guys, welcome back to the channel, and for our new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to the FAR fam. All right guys, I really don't want to hesitate, but before I get into the video, I just want to say, for those who haven't yet to subscribe to this channel, my name is Ruth Naomi Mitchell and I'm the founder of FAR. All right, and here on this channel we not only build courtships and marriages globally, but we build the kingdom of God, and we're a lifestyle channel. We started with our hair, guys. All right guys, I know you didn't come here for that, but I would love for you to join us and to subscribe. All right guys, let's get into the video. This video is all about immigrating to Canada, and you guys should know, for those who know me or been watching my YouTube channel, you know that I was born in Jamaica. So I immigrated from Jamaica to Florida, and I immigrated from Florida to Canada. And I really wanted to tell my immigration story, immigrating from Florida to Canada, okay, under the spousal sponsorship. I believe that's what it's called. All right, don't quote me for it, but that's what it is, when your spouse sponsors you to migrate and to become a permanent resident of that country. Okay, so that's what it is in Canada. And I really wanted to come here and tell my story, and in hopes to help someone, to help prepare someone if you are married to a Canadian citizen and you are about to embark on this process, this immigration process. And also it can also help any other person that you may be migrating, maybe from the Caribbean islands or another country. Guys, let me know if you want me to do an immigration series. I will try to go back in a lot of things that my husband and I did through the process of immigration between Florida and Canada and share with you. But I do have 6 tips. All right, so you have to wait till the end to get the extra tip. Originally it would have been 5 tips. All right guys, so my story is, I am a United States citizen. And you guys, I've done the video how I met my husband. So long story short, he's a Canadian citizen, and we decided to get married in Jamaica because my husband's father is in Jamaica. He has family in Jamaica. I also have family in Jamaica, and we thought it would have been better and more even affordable, and it's a beautiful island. Why not just have a destination wedding? It's a beautiful thing. So we got married in Jamaica, and then our decision was to stay in Canada. Okay, our story is something else, but long story short, my husband is from Toronto, Canada, but we ended up in Edmonton, Canada, through our ministry. All right, so before we got married, we were trying to explore how we were going to go about the immigration process, because we know obviously we have to go through this process for me to be legally in a country and to gain my permanent residence. And so we seeked kind of to get an immigration lawyer or a person, and I must say that it was crazy because this person made us feel as if we could not file our papers without them, without seeking a professional. Now, I don't knock professionals, but where I knock them is when they try to discourage you from doing things on your own when they know that you can. And so because we did not have the funds like that to pay an immigration lawyer, immigration person to help, we said we're gonna have to do this on our own, and that's exactly what we did. So through I'm hoping that through me giving you the 6 tips on spousal immigration from the United States to Canada, that this would also help someone. And in all of that, I hope that I'm able to also share my story, because you'll get my story in between all of these tips. Guys, it's my first video like this. I don't know really where to start with a video like this, but it's something that I wanted to share in hopes to encourage someone and give someone information that can really help them to start. And I also believe that you can get so many tips from here as well if you're going through an immigration process or you're about to. Anywho, in all of that, we decided to do it on our own, which was really a great decision of us not being intimidated and paying all these extra fee by just answering the questions ourselves and getting the paperwork ourselves. And through that, we got all our information we needed through CIC. Now, CIC is the government, Canada government for immigration. Okay, wow. I must say it was not easy dealing with CIC, but they have all the information concerning to immigrate to Canada. So not only from the United States to Canada, but to Canada overall. So there's different ways to immigrate to Canada. There's different ways for there's different opportunities you can get in order to immigrate to Canada or to work in Canada. All right, some of the opportunities, I can do a whole other video about that. If you're interested, hit the thumbs up button and comment below your questions, because I can literally do a series on this, and I have folks that can really share information with me that would benefit you guys out there. All right, so we decided to do all that on our own, and it's through CIC. So we call them. You have to have patience. Random tip, you have to call CIC early in the morning. That's the best time to get them, early in the morning, because other than that, it's crazy over there. You have to have patience. Doing immigration with a lawyer or without a lawyer, you need to have patience. Okay, you have to be like, listen, I need to be legal in this country. This is the only way. I have to have patience. I have to get up in the morning and call them as they open their doors, their telephone doors, and just get with the program. I can't be rude when talking to them. You have to pre-prepare yourself, guys. But other than that, their system is pretty handy of typing in the questions, and you'll get the answers, or you get something close enough, and then you can make the phone call. So my first tip is save your money so you can begin the filing right away. And that was something that my husband and I, we weren't really like thinking about or being conscious of, because when I first immigrated from Jamaica to Florida, I didn't have to worry about that because my grandma did that for us, for my family and I. But yeah, we weren't really conscious. We were focusing on other things, personal things other than the wedding that I had to take care of. And it wasn't designating in my head, hey Ruth, put money aside for this immigration paperwork. I don't know why it didn't come about in my head. It was just something like, okay, we need to spend this amount of money on this right now before I leave the United States after the wedding, and also this amount of money towards the wedding. And I wasn't really thinking, hey, you have immigration paperwork, didn't ring a bell. It was something like, okay, since I already have access to the country for 6 months because I'm a US citizen, then we'll figure it out. Yeah, it was so much other stuff that was going on as well. But yeah, my tip to you is to definitely save your money so you can begin the filing right away. You want to be able to just start filing right after you get married. You don't want to hesitate on that, because the sooner you do that is the better it is for you and your hubby, or you and your wife. Second tip is, if you stay in your country, you will get through faster. Now, this is a decision that my husband and I decided to make. He did not want me to be in United States and him in Canada. Especially at the time, we were pastoring a church, and my husband was in a new city, a new province, and everything was new to him, and everything, you know, it's not his environment that he's used to. So it would be best, and it is always best, for you to be where your spouse is, especially when you're newly married. Okay? So we decided, even though we know that it would take longer, we will still go ahead and ensure that we stay in the same country, the same place. But I do want to let you know that is a tip. If you decide to stay in your country and you're being filed for, and not go the route of traveling back and forth as a visitor and staying a little bit longer within the time period that you're allotted by your country, by your visa, okay? Yeah, If you don't decide to go that route, it is faster for you to stay put to be filed for. Thirdly, save your documents, date nights, times you spent with each other, also with friends and family. And with Canada, our filing paper work was a 3-ring binder. It was about this thick. Kid you not. It was about this thick. Canada is very detailed, very extremely detailed than the United States. Canada, they want to know how you met. They want to know what you were doing when you met. They want to know. I want to make sure, y'all, that this video do not cut off because my battery is getting low. But they want to know a lot about your relationship. They want to make sure that you're not buying a marriage. They want to make sure that you are not doing illegal activities just to get in their country. So everything that you do, save the plane tickets. We saved plane tickets when we traveled back and forth to see each other, to meet each other's family and so forth. We saved those things. We saved restaurant receipts with us eating together. We took pictures in restaurants. I mean, good thing we took a lot of pictures because we had to go back and print those pictures and wrote about, literally we had to write a paragraph or so about how we met and or traveling back and forth with each other. So what I'm saying is document your journey, take pictures so that you can show that you love each other. Okay. Number 4 is, and I have to move really quickly, always walk with your marriage certificate when you're visiting your spouse. I'm so happy I was always wise enough to do this because the fact is I'm going back and forth between the United States and Canada. So there must be wondering like, okay, why are you coming back here so much times? Because immigration could see the times you're visiting the country, and every 6 months or so I would go back. No more than 6 months though, because my stay would have to be 6 months as a United States citizen. So I would go between every 4, 5, 6 months, mostly every 6 months. And of course they see the information in their computer system. And if I'm saying, hey, I'm coming to visit visit my hubby, I'm coming to visit my husband, I want to be able to show them, you know, that I do have a husband in this country. You want to be able to show that, okay? Because immigration, especially now, they are cracking down. And you have to be careful of what you say to them as well. Use wisdom. But the truth is, I'm visiting my hubby, my husband. We just got married and so forth. And he is filing for me. And I was able to show the marriage certificate. And Canada is very lenient in that area. As long as you have your marriage certificate and prove that you're married to, you know, this person in Canada, then it's okay. At least I know for me in Edmonton, it was fine from the immigration officer. 5 is, if you choose to visit hubby every 6 months, there is a paper you can get at the airport for visitors. Let them know you are visiting your hubby. As I said before, that paperwork will help you to have medical for the allotted time that you're visiting. And I've noticed this. I've never known this before, but I remember one time, and I would have to research or ask my husband what is the name of that paper again. But yeah, if you guys thumbs up and really have interest in this video, then that will let me know if I need to do a series and to tell you guys the paperwork that you may need and so forth. It's all up to you guys, all right? So when I visited and when I went through customs and immigration, when I told them I'm visiting my husband, we just got married and visiting him, they brought me to a different area, you know, that question area. And I remember him asking me just some questions, and I said, I'm visiting my husband, and that's why I'm here. They gave me a visitor paper that shows that I'm visiting here, and I think it had like allotted time. I don't know if it had the 6 months time, but that paperwork was a paperwork that I ended up being able to use for me to actually get medical. And you might be saying, what do you mean? In Canada, there is free medical health care. But at the time, I wasn't a Canadian permanent resident. And so I was actually able to go to one of those offices, in and out office, that's what it's called, or Service Canada, I think that's what they call it as well. And they were able to issue me a health card from the day I went to get it to the expiration date of the paper I got from Customs and Immigration. And I was able to go to the doctor. That was pretty cool and good information to know. So I'm sharing that with you. So the 6th advice and tip: when applying, ensure to apply for the work permit and PR at the same time. And that's something that we weren't able to do because that's something that we ended up doing not way after. We did it together, but we had to really plan and save in order to start our immigration paperwork, like almost a year later, basically. But what I'm happy that we did do is when we did file for our my immigration paperwork, okay, to be a permanent resident in Canada, we also filed for my work permit. To do that, you don't have to sit home and wait for another set of money in order to file for a work permit. If you can save and file everything together, you will get your work permit before your permanent residence. I believe that's how it happens. That's what happened for me and a lot more, and also my friends that experience the same thing and the same process as me. So we did it in June, and June, July, August, September. 3 months later, I received my work permit. So we did it in June, and by September, I received the work permit. So I was able to look work. So yes, that is number 6 tip, y'all. I really hope that someone is getting something from this video, but I really wanted to start sharing my immigration experience migrating from the United States to Canada. It was quite interesting, guys. Let me know any questions that you guys have. Let me know below. I'm looking forward to the comments, and that's basically it. I'm really happy that I'm able to begin to share this with someone out there that may be looking into going into the immigration process of filing for their spouse, their wife, or their husband. And I hope that this kind of helped to prepare you so you can do this thing on your own. It's not that complicated. You may have the questions, but that's why you have CIC. You can call them, okay? So that's why you have immigration, okay? So whatever country that you're migrating to, get that government website and get that number, and you can call them and you can ask the questions. And normally they are very willing, and if they're unwilling, eat the humble pie and ask all the questions that you can. And if you have friends that have been through the same process, link them up. Even if they're not friends, but you feel as if you connect and you can ask them a question, then ask that question and they may just help you. All right, guys, your girl is, before I go out, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. All right, guys, your girl is